Hello.
We are live. Episode 13.
Lucky number 13. I don't know. Maybe we should have skipped it like hotel floors. We should have just jumped to 14.
13 and 9 3/4 or whatever the fuck.
Yeah, I don't know. But welcome back to the Late Game Link podcast.
Yes.
I am Derek.
I'm Robbie.
Yeah, and we are your hosts. Every week we come together and talk about different nerdy things. I feel like if you know, you know. I feel like if this podcast is for you, then you kind of know.
Yeah.
But also
anything under the sun.
Yeah.
Whether it's books, music, TV, video games, especially.
Yeah.
It will be talked about in some way, shape, or form. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I guess you just want to head right into topics of the week.
I feel like we got a lot to talk about today.
Yeah.
So
All right, sweet.
Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and to address a comment left by a certain individual.
Goody Proctor.
Who's, I think, our undisputed number one fan at this moment.
Yeah.
Social media is coming. So stay tuned for that.
Yes.
And
this week, we all, eventually start getting days off for the holidays and things like that. So, before the next episode that airs, I will have 2 3-hour train rides that I will be able to get our socials in check. So yeah, please look out for that. We will link everything where you need to see it. And just stay tuned, I guess.
In the meantime, YouTube is the hub. So I think if you're looking for us, you're going to go to YouTube for now.
Yes.
So, but yeah, what's going on this week? What do you kind of got?
Yeah, so I guess we got a couple things, and these are all current events. I know sometimes for those who are first listening, we do topics of the week. It's either could be current events, but it's also just things like, hey, I played this game that I haven't played in 10 years, and I really want to talk about it. It doesn't have to be in a current event. This week, all current events. Starting with, and I mentioned it last week, that I will catch up with the Mighty Nein, and we can talk about it. Mighty Nein being the sequel prequel of Vox Machina, because it technically happens before Vox Machina, correct?
Does it?
It's like their first
campaign,
right?
But it's like a different world.
It's not in like the timeline, so it's their second show.
Yes.
About one of their first campaigns. And so I know you have made the comment in the past. Also, you've probably learned if you've listened to a lot of these shows, I'm terrible with names sometimes, and that's where Derek comes in. The Traveler Girl.
Oh,
she's a tiefling, right?
Oh my god.
She's like Traveler.
Yeah, Traveler. Yeah. What's her name?
That's like your favorite character.
I do like her.
I do really like her too. I don't think she's my favorite character, but definitely has the best like overall vibes. Like I like her comedic
her name is Jester.
Jester. Yup. Yeah. No, I do really like her as a character. And now,
because I think she's a cleric, which is like a fun, kind of like way to do that class. Where like,
because she doesn't give the cleric vibes at first. Like I'm thinking she's like a sorcerer or something.
Yeah.
A warlock. But yeah, so actually now I'm thinking. So I watched 4 episodes. And now I'm thinking one might have came out.
You might have.
Are there 5?
I think there's 5 out, but that's fine.
So I'm not totally gone.
But you've seen enough to know. Like kind of what we're doing here. Yes. You've seen the group assemble, which I feel like
the group is assembled.
The group assemble, I believe.
Oh yeah, yep. We know the whole the guy from that like society with the orb or whatever, the weapon. He's like helping our main character's former professor.
Yep.
Like harness the power of it, all of that. I'm all in. It's also making me reflect as a DM for some of my friends, including I DM Derek as well as some other people, and it's making me realize that I need to root people's like character backgrounds heavily into the story. I feel like I usually have never done that because it's like, oh, you're all like level 1 and like how much have you really done before this, and this is kind of you getting your footing. I do like how what's his name, it's like the language that he speaks, the word for burn is like the guy's name, the guy who can do like the fire spells and everything. Is it Bren?
Caleb? No.
No, it's like Bren or something like that.
It might be Bren. I'm not seeing it on here, but
something N, like ends with EN. Like the main.
Oh, I think it is Bren.
Okay,
Yeah.
I like how he like used to be a student of the big bad guy, who's trying to harness a weapon for evil, essentially. I like how there's the monk character is also kind of tied into the story with their quest, I guess, that they're going on. Bren has the direct personal tie. I like it. It makes more sense for a party to connect to a story when at least one or two of them are heavily ingrained in the story itself, right? Yeah. And of course, you don't have to do that. And most of the time, I don't do that. But it's kind of inspiring me to have it more interlaced into people's story.
It's funny too, even just hearing you say that, because we almost played D&D this week. Ended up having to reschedule, but I'm so excited because I finally figured out like my monk character's backstory. Maybe a little inspired from Mighty Nein a little bit, because I want to give it's reciprocal, especially being a DM like at times myself. Where I feel like I do have to give it like to you a little bit, because you don't want to make moves.
Everyone needs to give me a sheet of like, what is your whole shtick, and then I can then talk to you and be like, okay, I like it. Can we add this in there to tie into the story? Or
just giving you runway. I'm so tempted on our podcast to tell you what I came up with for my character's background, because I feel like I just want to give it to you, and I want you to be able to take that in whatever direction as DM you would like. Ooh, okay. All right. I'm not saying I have to do that. It's up to you.
It's your choice. I'm fine with whatever. If we want to do a little reveal.
Okay, maybe just because I feel like this ties into like what you're describing, but my character is a monk with astral arms subclass.
Machamp.
Yeah, named Forever. Goes by Eve. But for my backstory, again, it's partially Mighty Nein inspired, where like their backstory is really tied into the story. My thought was, she grew up without a name, without a home, was picked up off the street, first memories begging on the streets, but then picked up by a kind older woman who gave her a lavish life until she started to go through puberty, at which point she and 6 other little girls that she was adopted with formed like a covert assassination squad. So I'm talking like first kill at 14.
So the old lady is running a assassin. Okay.
When my character was 17 and her sisters were all 17, and also I picture they're all different races and things like that, and different monk subclasses even. So it's like a sister of the shadow, a sister of mercy.
Yeah.
Basically, the way I'm going to have her described to the party, like, is we were given a job that was like a really big job. I don't know the politics of the world completely, but like she's gonna say like the kind of death, like assassination, that begins or ends a chapter in a history book we were gonna do. Like it was like a really significant thing, and we knew, my sisters and I, that even if we survived, we would die. So there were no loose ends. Like we were going to be killed. So we agreed to on the day of the assassination kill our mother, like rise up to kill her. And the day came. Again, we're all 17 years old. We're in the meeting room. The signal's given by one of the sisters. We jump to action. And I'm going to say Forever ran for the door. And it's been 10 years.
Wow.
And she's had 0 follow-up. And I feel like that's an example, a little bit of like what we're talking about. Like, I want to give that to you. Because that can go any direction. Right? Like we could get to a town and there's a monk standing in the middle of the town.
Yes,
like
no,
for
that's
revenge.
perfect, yeah.
Or
they could be keeping tabs on you. That assassination could... I can go a lot of different ways.
If you're in the D&D party... And I dramatically tell this story in my character voice, just pretend you didn't hear it.
You didn't hear that.
But not to hijack the Mighty Nein conversation, but I feel like I want to give that to you.
You guys are getting close to getting to your like, if anyone's ever played, I guess the most recent thing I can think of is like Baldur's Gate, right? So like, you are working to get to finally like the huge city, right? Like they are 2 days away they're like 15 to 20 minutes worth of actual travel time of them in real life playing to get to, like, they're so close to the city, and a lot of things can and will happen in this city. So
I believe if
anybody were to be a remnant of this group, they could have some sort of connection.
So on the note of Mighty Nein, maybe just to tie
I'll think of that.
I'll
I'll have something eventually, and because we have a necromancer in our group that I did kind of give him somewhat of like a side quest type thing. Essentially, try and defeat the Lich version or the Voldemort version of a Lich, essentially.
Yeah.
He's got to go find
Big bad
Horcruxes. But yeah, so I want someone to eventually have something. Like, everyone has something that they're, like, tied to. So yeah, I will definitely, and I'll review with you. There'll be some things where you have to be like, okay, just because also I don't want to hijack your character too.
No,
right?
but
I'm like,
is this?
I'd be like, so do you think something like this is like good for your character? Like, they would have done that in the past, or like, so we'll discuss, but we'll definitely make it a cool tie-in eventually.
Mm-hmm.
It might not be like the exact next time we play, but
you said of the Mighty Nein that Jester was not your favorite character. Do you have a favorite character?
The monk. I like the monk. I like the monk.
Yeah.
I like the just like, fuck this. Like, I don't know. It was like refreshing. I don't know. I guess in like Vox Machina, they were all like, I guess the Mighty Nein are also like buddies, and this is very early on, so I'm sure they'll get more buddy as they go. But Vox Machina was very like buddy, and that's fine, and that's great. And like, they have arguments and everything, but I kind of like the humor and the bit that like, I don't know. There's this very like loner monk and like kind of like doesn't want to be a part of the group, but then you can see them now through these episodes. They're starting to, when they start I think they're battling the giant toad. I think is what it is.
Yeah.
And the monk goes like this party is fucking nuts, and then like runs in. Like, I was like, I don't know. That was cool. Like, I like the like rugged vulgarity of the monk. I think it's fun. Definitely
that. And also, I'm surprisingly really endeared to Not the Goblin. Like, I did not think I was going to like that character.
Oh, the Goblin.
Not
the Goblin?
Not.
Oh, like Nott. Okay, yeah.
But I did not think I was going to like that character, but I'm honestly really endeared because, like, I appreciate a character struggling with, like, addiction and yes, it's like a joke sort of, but it's also not, and it genuinely is like a plight that this person is experiencing, and it's used to cover for a lot of pain, and that's like apparent, and I feel like that's being done really tastefully in the show. But even I think why I also like her is because like her and the character Bren also goes by Caleb, so I think that's where I was confused. But she and Caleb Bren like did not start on good terms, but then by the time they meet up in the bigger group, they're kind of a dyad among the group, where there is there's like, like we're a part of this group and we have each other's backs, but I really have your back. Like, that's why I'm here, and that's like kind of fueling it. And I think that's the kind of like depth that makes like beyond even romance, which I feel like is kind of the easy way to do that. It makes the dynamic of the party feel more real, is that there are like sub relationships and Jester and Ford, having that connection. It just feels really real. Like, these characters feel really, really real.
And it makes it it's kind of like a gentle reminder as time goes on that like this group, like these people weren't their like biggest influences in their lives. Like, they weren't always like this, like those relationships kind of like were forged before the group, right? So, and I guess in D&D time that happens very quickly, but still, we
got a quest to do.
It's cool. Yeah, it's cool to have those duos or any sort of relationship within like a group. It's fun. Yeah. So especially when you're telling these types of stories, like people are in danger, people die, like these kind of things happen, and it's one thing for like the group to lose a character. But say Bren dies, it's very different because Nott is losing Bren, right? And that's even like more like of a devastating thing, right? So yeah, it makes all the highs better and the lows, like everything's, I don't know, cranked up a notch. It means more, when you have that. Does. So yeah, no, I really like it. I like how the story's going. I kind of gave this critique when not critique, but like I gave the statement when I recommended it. It is very much to me just like it's just another Vox Machina show. To me, it feels exactly the same. Like, it's a completely different story. Like, animation is exactly the same. I like the story the exact same than as Vox Machina. Like everything to me, I am just excited about this as I was Vox Machina, and vice versa. I think it's like a great second show.
Yeah,
I don't know if that's how you felt or not.
The only thing, and it's not better or worse, but even like the world is different because even like magic wise, components are required for certain things. Like the wizard character, I believe he would be a wizard class, but like he's having to like gather resources. Like he sees feathers on the ground.
That would be sorcerer, right?
Is he?
Yeah, because remember, I'm almost positive it's sorcerer have to use components like that. Remember the guy in the D&D movie with what's his face in?
Yeah,
he has that wheel on his side, and he's a sorcerer, and that's him picking components.
Either way, like that is not something I feel like I remember at all from Vox Machina. So I feel like there is depth.
That's also like DM style. That's
right.
It depends what edition you're playing. So that could have been just like the DM at the time, whoever was the DM, which I don't know who was.
Yeah.
Or that could even be. You can theoretically, tell the DM like I'm doing this because technically there are components for spells, like there always have been.
And you can.
But that is the most widely. That's the most widely broken rule, I feel like, for any global D&D table is fuck components. Like, you can just do it. Unless it's, like, certain spells, like a Revivify, you need a diamond. It's like, all right, I'm not just going to let you just pop off Revivifies left and right. You actually have to find a diamond or something. But for the most part, everybody's like, you should be able to cast Magic Missile and not have to, use components.
I think it stood out to me just because I don't think they did that at all in Vox Machina. Like, there was it was never a component requirement as I've gotten used to playing D&D. And I like this because it does make and dude is powerful. Like there are feats abound, and like requiring some level of component doesn't even necessarily detract from that. If anything, I feel like it shows resourcefulness and it shows like it just is a different vibe of magic.
And it's like a different role playing and it's a different game style. Like, so which is again, if everybody's like on board in a certain like game for D&D, I always think it's going to go well no matter what. It's when people are like having conflicting views on things, that's when like people get a little fed up.
Right.
Like if the person who is the magic character doesn't want to use components, then that's the issue. Like they're going to have, but it seems to me like whoever was playing this character liked that type of role play for this, or was definitely, everybody was on board, and it makes for a different type of, the way you survive or play the game and the way you role play too. So I think it's a great second show. I hope again eventually, at some point, if this spreads to the point where maybe not even Critical Role is behind it, maybe it's just some other studio said we want to make that kind of thing, an animated series that specifically focus on like, this is a D&D party, even though not saying it's a D&D party. So that's another thing I like about this. They never say anything about Dungeons & Dragons. They treat this story like it's an actual story. They're not saying like, oh, this is our D&D party. It's like, no, like it's as if there's no people sitting down at a table, right? So I really like that. So yeah, that's just like the first thing I wanted to bring up today, because I was like, I got some episodes under my belt, and I do want to talk about it.
Thank you for letting me hijack and tell you my character backstory.
No,
captive
good.
Audience.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, you're touching on really good points about like what I do like about it, and maybe final note of what I like is I think the vibe around the Dark Elves in general, and kind of that like. The issue of like the main guy that we're following, like his mother's like sickness that she's experiencing after living so long, and all of the like reboots
so
in different lives. Like and the fact that like that's like a secret in the society, because like you find out that you got that, and bitch, you gotta fucking go. So
he's like, know the rules.
I appreciate that as a layer of in general, like again, characters that are nigh immortal reckoning with their mortality, I think is like always going to get me in the end, and I'm excited to see where it goes. I genuinely have no predictions for like what the story is either, and I've never been the type of person to sit down and listen to a D&D podcast. I've given it a couple tries in the past, and I've thought it was like fine. Definitely, like again, we do a podcast, so like fuck me, I guess, but I've never been able to like sit and listen, so I'm not going to listen to this and like do all that unless something really changes. I am just excited by the prospect of the story and seeing it animated and so beautifully captured. I mean, like it is really, really well done. So
no, I prefer this medium versus watching Critical Role. And again, I think it's just because I only have so much time and I can't fill it all 100% with D&D stuff, and that's how it is. And I like this medium of a concise animated show. And the good thing is this will get people who do want to watch Critical Role onto Critical Role that haven't been watching it since, if they like the show. So all good things, no matter how you want to connect, I guess, with Critical Role. Also, another catch up for the week. I'm caught up on Stranger Things. And that I know I'm caught up with, like, the newest episode. With our boy William Potter. I saw all these edits about Will being like this. He's like Harry Potter with the whole, like, Harry Potter's connected to Voldemort, you know, and it's classic, like, Will has like the hive mind and Harry has like the scar, you know, and it's like, guess what? So I now know that Will has, you know, control, like kind of like Vecna powers.
Yeah. I mean it's Vecna, it's 11, it's you know, and how could you doubt it? I mean he's noseblood, you know. They gave which I'm triggered by, so I'm making a joke, but it's like, how else would we know?
I don't think his noseblood.
It did. They gave him the swipe. They gave him the swipe.
Okay,
in the,
right.
which I know. I am just bitching to bitch. Again, I'm being a bitch and I can feel it. Yeah. So yeah, I mean I appreciate a big swing. Like we gotta up the size of everything. It's already been a big show, so like we gotta. If you're going to make us wait this long for the conclusion of the story, you have to deliver. And I feel like this is moving in that direction a little bit.
Yeah, so far so good. I mean, there's time to fuck it up.
Yeah.
But so far I'm liking it. With the most recent episode, like that scene where Will kind of, like, you know, gets his powers. I guess Vecna leaves back to the Upside Down after he, like, gets the kids. But Vecna's new, like, look.
Form.
I fuck with it heavy. I don't know about you. I like... And I even had the moment, I was like, oh, yeah, fuck yeah, it's not a kid's show anymore. Where Vecna comes out and he's looking evil as shit and he's looking a little more powerful. And one of, like, the military guys is kind of near him and, like, kind of getting up like he's not dead yet. And Vecna just puts, like, spikes through the back of his head and they come out his, like, eyes and mouth. And it's, like, very gory. And I'm like, fuck yeah, like, here we go. Like, this is, like...
Yeah. He's giving Final Boss.
Yeah, it started with, like, kids kind of fucking around with a Demogorgon in their town. And they're very young and they're like 10 or 12 or whatever it is. And now it's like, no, this is legit. Everybody's kind of grown up. Like, there's a lot that has led up to this. I am glad that this is like some oh shit type of moment. So yeah, I mean, I will say and again, this is like, I'm not saying this is like bad from the show by any means, but it's just like the feelings I feel, and
you don't have to,
11.
You don't have to justify your.
Well, no.
We're on a podcast.
No. What I want to make sure when I'm saying this is not a dig.
Okay.
Like, I don't think this is like bad of the show necessarily. It's just like me being like that. Like, I just don't like that character. You know, it's not necessarily saying like, oh, they fucked up with that character, or maybe it is. I don't know. But by far the people I don't give a shit about the most is and we'll get to the part where I'm like, fuck them for writing this. But 11 and, oh my God, what's his name? The curly-haired dude who got beat up. And he's the technical guy and he runs the van. Again, I'm horrible with fucking name. Dustin, that's his name, right?
Oh, yeah.
He's annoying the shit out of me in this season. And it's very much like, I get annoyed in general with angsty teenagers in any sort of medium. Yeah. And they always let that make them make a worse decision. And again, that's not necessarily bad writing because that is very realistic, but it pisses me off every fucking time. I'm sick of Dustin shit.
I mean, in a meta sense, so much of this, like, in what you're saying, like, was less annoying or less, like, noticeable. But, like, just because of the amount of time this has taken, a lot of this has overstayed its welcome. And, like, that is going to permeate, you know, and I think that Dustin as a character and the relationship between, like, you know, him and, like, Steve Harrington, whatever, like, it's like, okay, like, yeah, I see it and I understand, but we've also been here for 10 years. So I feel like there's, like, a little bit of.
Well, I think what they're maybe getting at too is that Eddie, right, was his name, the leader of the Hellfire group. Eddie, I think it was. That was like Dustin's like. He finally made a friend that like wasn't Steve, right?
Yeah.
And that's great, and that was like never an issue. But then he dies, so that's why this season he's like angsty fucking Dustin. And maybe there's something they're doing here where it's almost like, that's what affects now, like with his relationship with Steve. Like that's another older figure that he looked up to that might remind him of Eddie or like what. Like I can definitely see kind of like why there would be conflict between him and like Steve Harrington. Like I get that 100%, but it still annoys the shit out of me. Like anytime there's angsty teens and because they're all fucking pissed off, they just like do stupid shit. Oh, that I'm just like screaming at the TV every time. But yeah, so, and also just 11 in general. I don't know. I mean, I guess she's supposed to be like the main person, but the more and more I watch Stranger Things, the more I like the other kids versus 11. Also, I don't like how they make her like almost seem like she had like developmental issues because of the experiments or whatever. Like,
you mean in terms of like her speech or like her?
Yes, like her speech and like she like doesn't know words, but like any other kid we've ever met from that lab, like aren't that way. Like they act like she never had a mother, which she did. Like I don't know, like she was kidnapped from childhood, and like like experiments are gonna fuck with you like mentally, and I get that, but they act like she's like some like cave woman or something. Like waffles good ? Like what? Like ever since the beginning I didn't like that, and she still kind of talks like that even like in this season. So that kind of like rubs me the wrong way. But I do like to see her use her powers and everything, so that kind of redeems it for me. But yeah, 11 and Dustin are the one that are kind of on my shit list right now. But I like the also the Maya Hawke, is that her name or is that her mom's name?
Oh, Maya Hawke. No, that's her name.
That's her name? Oh yeah. Her character. And again, I want to hear your take on this.
Oh, I'm going to agree with what you're about to say.
I thought the using like Will being gay as like the reason he like, I can use my powers now kind of I was like, all right. I was like, Derek is gonna have some.
What year is it?
Some words on this for
Not
sure.
what year is the show taking place? Like,
I was like, oh, so now, like, okay, now he's anyway. So, but before we get to that, I thought though, when they're in the tunnel and she gives him a like older person, older friend looking out for a younger friend, and this is even something that doesn't have to be like a dealing with coming out. It could really be anything. It could be a big brother talking to a little sister about something about life. Like it felt like that kind of moment. And I thought she had very good acting during that tunnel scene. Did you? I don't know if you felt that way or not.
No.
Maybe just because of the topic.
Yeah, I saw a thing that was I saw a TikTok that unfortunately has like set my brain on this character. The character's name was Robin, and it was like a TikTok that said I forget if I told you this already. I don't know. It just is so fucking funny. It was like I miss Robin pre-lobotomy. Because I feel like there has been such a shift in that character where there was genuine like angst, and maybe you can chalk it up to the fact that she was dealing with some sort of like repression and she wasn't able to be herself, and now she has a partner. But I feel like we have fundamentally lost the plot with that character, and there's like a level of like Flanderization a little bit that's occurred. Wow.
See, where we have this is a disagree here. I just feel
like we kind of lost it, and I mean, now she like fits in with the whole like older characters, and we need her to be a fucking LGBTQIA plus spirit guide, I guess, is like the role.
Yeah, well that's where I was like, okay, this is
and so she needs to be like Sage in that way, and that's like sure, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. I question a lot of the show when it comes to like everything having to do with like queerness and being gay. It just feels like we're in like 2012 a little bit making this show, and I feel like that's my general critique of the whole thing. Is like, yes, the show took place in the 80s, but like gay people, they were around, and like, and not to say like they were really prominent. In fact, like AIDS was happening, and like I feel like you don't have to touch on AIDS if you don't want to in Stranger Things, but like I think that there's more awareness. I don't know. I think my issue goes so back beyond the drawing board that I don't think that there's anything I could really say to like get my critique across.
Also the problem is I'd even say we're still in 2012. I mean, there's no way, and again, this is like, you know, the problem with like, well, we need to make as much money as possible. There's no way they're gonna, in today's, and again, this is fucking maybe the politics jar. We don't want to get into politics, but just you can briefly bring up like, hey, look, you can tell that they are never going to push that topic in the way they should, because there are many people currently in the political landscape that would not watch the show because of it, and not even like a political way, but they would be turned off by it.
Yeah.
Right? And that's still the world we live in. Like, we still live in 2012.
Yeah.
Or even prior to that. It's just how it is. Like, with how big the show is, you know, if they did that the way they should, it would get review bombed to hell. And they don't want to do that.
So I think that's a valid point. And I'll be getting into politics. I mean, let's be real. Like, as you just implied, though, like to a certain demographic, my existence is political. My existence is like a big question mark. So I feel like I have to talk about things through this lens. And my response is like, absolutely. Like, I think that is true. Like, Netflix, this show, I'm sorry. Like, I'm not doubting the writing chops, but like, we're definitely pulling at this point the biggest shows on Netflix, like different story beats and like using things like AI and using things, you know what I mean? Like this is developed in a way to get 4-quadrant support. Like that is always going to be a thing. And I think by that metric, like I can't define this show as brave. Like I can't say that this is. That this is a brave
I don't
venture.
think anybody would call Stranger Things brave.
But they think that but I know that they are in these fucking boardrooms thinking they are turning the party with this like gay representation.
I honestly,
I know they are.
I don't think anybody in that room is.
They think that they are shaking the table. They are doing this the way that we need it seen today.
I don't think they're that dumb. I think they're fully sitting there and going, we just need the most candy-coated fucking feed to a baby this idea as we can, so we don't get in fucking trouble.
So you think that
I don't think any single person in that writing room thinks that what they're like doing the LGBTQ justice.
The way I went down a rabbit hole, I think this past week, and there are some delusional ass bitches, shout out to y'all, on Twitter, who think that this show will resolve with Will and Mike as a couple. And I am so intrigued by that, because that's what I'm saying. Yeah. That's what I'm saying though. This is really speaking to some people. Like this is like where they think that this is like really fulfilling representation of certain experiences and demographics, and I just, you know what? I love that for y'all. And
I'm not gonna comment on like maybe the perception. I'm fully just being like the people that are creating the show. I think every last one of them are focusing on how not to create a shitstorm with that topic. 100%.
Yeah.
I don't think they're that dumb that they're thinking like, because again, it's 2025. There's no way any of those people are thinking that. At least I don't think.
Because even I think giving the gay kid powers is a choice, right? Like that is like, they feel like they probably have done enough, and I don't know.
Also I think it kind of like well, here's the thing, and maybe I don't watch enough of the TikToks on like the lore and the history. Mm-hmm. Was he even supposed to be gay when they created the show? Because I feel like season 1 that wasn't even like on the radar.
No,
and again,
it was also a different show. It was a different show. Winona Ryder this show was promoted as Winona Ryder's comeback. Like this was her show.
Exactly.
At the beginning. And obviously it's morphed so much.
So I think, they're kind of working with where the show's going, the rewrites I'm sure they did, and also like how can we not like create uproar over this, right? I don't know. And there could be somebody who thinks, I could see somebody being like, yeah, this is perfect. Like, we were able to add something gay, but like we're gonna make money. I definitely think someone thinks like that, but I don't think there's anyone in that room that thinks like, yeah, we are like the pioneers right now of like representation. Like that. I mean, they should not have a fucking job if they think that. That would be absolutely crazy. They're delusional, but
yeah,
maybe they are. I don't know, but
well on that note, maybe just like if because I agree with you in that I think that this show is developed via committee. Like this is not like a strong writer's room perspective that is driving us to the end. I think that they are in general doing a lot of polling and a lot of like, what is going to maximize not just like obviously like we have to fulfill the story, but rewatchability is being factored into this because this has been such a cash cow, and you don't want to go to the Game of Thrones route where people kind of throw away the show with the finale. So, do you have any predictions for the finale now that you've seen those episodes? Like, is there anything that you think is like a surefire thing? I mean, aside from like Hopper dying, which is obviously going to occur. He's like top 10 most death is imminent characters I've ever seen. Oh yeah, but
all right. Oh, I will say, I can see it won't be. I won't be like outraged, but there is even a part of me now that I could see them being like, no, we're gonna keep Hopper alive just because people think he's gonna die. Yeah. So I don't know. Because the story is complete. Obviously he should die. Yeah, that motherfucker should die.
The story's complete.
But well, the last episode, he pulled the whole shit. Mm-hmm. He pulled the thinking of his daughter, taking the grenade or the vest or whatever the fuck it was to like save Elle in the government facility. And it was like he was ready to sacrifice his life, right? And that right there made me think, because they didn't do it, right? He doesn't die.
Right.
Like, they survive. That gave me that little, I got the will itch in the back of the neck, like, they might not fucking kill him. So I'm like, that would have been it. Yeah. That was the whole fucking point, right? It was him. He was like, he wasn't able to save his daughter because of her sickness. Now it was like the full circle moment, and everybody knows like he's gonna. And that maybe they're trying to be little fuckers and be like, yeah, like see, we know that's like what you're thinking, but no, that's not how he's gonna die, or no, maybe he won't die. So I don't know. That'll be fucking annoying. Maybe depending on how that works out. But I don't know. I think now I don't know because my whole big thing was Sadie.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Sadie Sink. I knew something was going on with her for sure. Mm-hmm. And now she's like trapped in Vecna's memories, I guess. I wanted her to be the one to have the powers. But now we got Will into the equation.
Hey, rule of three. I feel like I have in my mind and I don't like Will. I'm good off that. Yeah, I think that I'm very soured by the whole gay of it all. Yeah. I feel like it's weird.
I knew when he had her voice in his head being like, you just got to be free, and then he's like, fucking, I got that. I was like, Derek is gonna fucking hate this.
Someone knows, but I hope the City Sink does get powers because I mean, and Noah being, or not Noah's the actor, Will being gay, there's kind of like a feminine thing, tri-goddess concepts, 11, Will, Sadie, all, being empowered in that way. I feel like that's fun, and I would support that agenda, but I don't know if they're going to do that with her. I feel like she's
what if, and I feel too crazy in this. I think it's like a good thought, but I just feel like this is too complex for this to happen. But what if it's the classic, I could see this part happening. 11 and Will tag team to defeat Vecna, but the whole point of that is Will's job is to like use his Vecna powers to like bring Vecna down a notch, right? So then Elle's able to kill him, but then that kills Will, right? That's kind of how this looks like it's going. But so what if, since Sadie's in this weird fucking parallel dimension, whatever the fuck, what if Sadie's able to then What if they in that realm can then save Will, like bring him back, like the whole Harry Potter shit where he's like,
I think you just predicted the end of Stranger Things.
No,
that sounds correct to me.
It almost feels too complex, but like I don't know. That's how it feels to me. Like that's like I could see it happening.
No, it's gonna be Will. He's gonna say his gay goodbye to Mike. Mike's gonna be crying and say, "Oh, bro," and then. He's going to be in the Upside Down, and you're going to hear, "If only could," and you're going to see a hand extend.
Yeah.
And I can see, you just predicted the whole end of the show. Yeah, I really see it. And there will be collaboration.
Well, my original prediction was, Max, that's her name. Sadie's the actress, Max. Max was going to, like, have powers and then help defeat. But yeah, now I fully think her whole shtick is going to be to save Will, not to like defeat that guy.
On the other side.
Yeah, which will also probably save her, in some way.
Yeah, there will be some sort of
she figures out how to get out of that, or maybe she can go in and out, or however the fuck it works. I don't know, but I can just see that happening.
Yeah.
How many more episodes? Like 4, 5?
I think so. I mean, they're all like 2 hours long. So.
Yeah, the last one's 2 hours and 15 minutes on
crazy on
New Year's Eve.
I don't like that direction that all this is going in, but
I'm fine with it. I'm fine with things being long. Like I'm completely fine with you making a 20 episode thing. And they're all 2 hours. I'm completely fine with that. It's just whether or not those 2 hours are good or not to me. I don't care about they could be 20-minute episodes. I don't give a shit. As long as it's good, I'm all for it.
There's a lost art of a 30 minutes with commercials being able to get a story across, or 45 minutes, filling out the hour with commercials. Lost art. Listen, I feel like we meander so much. We got to be locked in. I don't know. But yeah, I think you just predicted the end of Stranger Things.
I hope so. That'd be cool. That'd be cool if we clip this when it comes out.
If we fucking hear running up that hill in that finale, you gotta Venmo me $5. Whoever you are listening to this, just
every single person.
I'm gonna put my Venmo QR up to the thing. So. And if anything, you feel free to do the same if we get because I think you really tapped in. You are locked in.
It feels right.
And you're a storyteller. You know what it is.
Yeah, I like a good story. You're gassing me up right now. I'm like, no. Like it's probably not gonna happen. I'm trying to cover all my bases.
And it's not an insult to you, but like I think you could figure out the end of Stranger Things in the 20-30 minutes we've been talking about this. Like I think you. I mean, and maybe they're going to subvert. I just feel like in a post Game of Thrones world, people have learned that subversion is not the answer to stuff like this. And they are going to give us something that feels consistent. And I feel like the road is really clear for that specific idea.
Also, before we, finish on this topic, I'm kind of annoyed. Now, this is me actually bitching about the writing. I'm annoyed with her sister that she finds.
Oh.
The girl from like that, what felt like a throwaway plot line in season 3. Which I know because you were all about that. You're like, I wish we would have gone into that more. I think they didn't go into it enough. And then that's why this feels like, okay, like
we're just bringing
it back. Yeah, like
I see that point.
Like that's where I'm like, come on. Like now you're deciding to include it. Like it should have been more flushed out.
It's too late.
So yeah. If anything, she should have it shouldn't have just been like, I gotta go my separate way, peace. Like I don't know. She should have been like integrated into all of this.
Yeah.
Since meeting her, I feel like. But yeah, it's not the worst thing in the world. Then again, with how throwaway it felt before, bringing her back in is like not the biggest deal in the world. It's like, okay, whatever. Like it's not drastically changing things for me. That's a throw again.
No, we have to see what they do with it because they could go many directions with this.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't anticipate that character surviving this season because I feel like it gives very easy.
Oh no way.
Very easy final battle. Through the tears, rage, feet, inducing 11 stuff. Like that death feels imminent for sure. But you never know, and I don't know what I don't know.
Yeah, we'll see. I don't know. I'm curious to see what her like addition to their like party, because they're a party.
It is a party.
And so yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I still stand by my, I do like the show. I do like the hype that it's getting. I just like how a sci-fi show is like one of the biggest shows right now.
Yeah, in the zeitgeist.
And hopefully, and I'm not saying it's the best show in the world, but then hopefully this opens the door for more. And again, I'll say I don't think because the stereotypical sci-fi and certain movies, and especially TV shows, specifically TV shows, the CGI and like all that kind of shit that they do is usually pretty bad. And I feel like this show like visually looks good enough for that not to be an issue. Mm-hmm. And hopefully that will continue with more like sci-fi shows. So yeah, that's pretty much all I have for Stranger Things, but I'm glad I'm caught up and I will be watching them, I guess when are they going to release the other ones? Because that's only a couple weeks from now, the 31st.
The finale is New Year's, so
yeah.
I feel like it's probably this week.
Yeah, I'm going to have to check. I guess maybe they'll drop the next 3 episodes and then they'll drop the final one, or I don't know. But yeah, exciting. We'll see. And then finally, I know this kind of goes into your topic of the week, which for anybody listening, most of our time this week feels like it's going towards the topics of the week because a lot of things have happened in current events.
Definitely front-loaded this week.
Yes. So we had the Game Awards that have happened Saturday. I don't know. It
happened within the last
I did not watch, and I need to recap, and I think some of this will also be me recapping live here. But I just have written down, we need to clip it because we talked about this. Who do you think is going to win? You asked me, who do you think is going to win? And I was like, without a doubt, Expedition 33.
Yeah.
I was like, there's no other way. There's no other game that's coming even close to that. And I haven't even played the game.
Yeah.
They did win, and they set a record for the amount of Game Awards one game wins.
They did.
And I just want to say that I am glad games like these keep winning Game Awards. I know there's always a feud. There's always a feud between, the all I play is Call of Duty and FIFA crowd versus the rest of the gaming population. And I see all kind of comments and posts about how, they shit on Baldur's Gate 3 for winning Game of the Year.
Right.
People are shitting on this for winning Game of the Year. And I am just glad that it is so prevalent in the gaming community. Because, I don't know, you have a large portion of people that game a very certain way. So it can feel like that sometimes dictates the conversation. Or like when you see a lot of posts or whatever it is, about, people being pissed at a certain game. One, you think, oh, well, everybody kind of maybe thinks this way or maybe isn't into these types of games. But I think it's a testament that most gamers aren't, I just play Call of Duty and FIFA. And that it's exciting that hopefully some people that don't play a lot of games are starting to get into these games more.
Well, I'm so intrigued by people who are this winning over insert shooter battle royale. I think that's an opinion that I did disregard. I think I'm smarter than you because not just because, and again, I haven't played this game. However, I feel like to be in 2025 and not recognize that the Game Awards and similar events exist to highlight gaming as an art form and not as something you do, and there's no shame in it, right? There are books that people, the most beautiful, well thought out prose and smut novels are both books, right? And they serve different purposes. But a video game like Call of Duty and Expedition 33 or Final Fantasy, they're all video games, but there are different purposes, and events like the Game Awards exist to highlight achievements in storytelling. That's why they have storytelling categories. That's why I feel like it factors in so heavily to what inevitably wins Game of the Year.
Oh yeah.
I actually was gonna talk about Expedition 33, because I really loved. I don't know if you saw any of the people who won awards. They won for voice actor. Jennifer English, friend of the pod.
Oh, there we
Supreme
go.
friend of the pod, voice of Shadowheart in Baldur's Gate. And,
okay, sweet.
And Miel in this game, one of the main characters. But she won Best Voice Actress. And her and all the categories they won, the people who won one of the things from the game. Also, maybe I'll describe what Expedition 33 is about, because I feel like this will factor into this conversation. Basically, you're in this town at the start of the game, and it's like a European-inspired town vibe. But basically, several years ago, on this big rock monument, on the off the coast, a number appeared, 100. And every year it ticks down from 100 to 99 to 98, and everyone who is that age or older just disappears. So they start sending out expeditions to go out, beyond the realm they exist in, to try to figure out why this is happening and stop it. And so we're on Expedition 33 as the plot of the game. And the central premise of that is, and they say it as their mantra, is for those who come after. Because a lot of them recognize they will not see the fruits of what is to come.
They're doing it to save everybody else.
Yeah, even if we die on this mission. So then, even within the lore of the story, some expeditions, like Expedition 60-something, their entire expedition was committed to finally mapping out the region that these people kept going out into, and they knew that's all that we're doing. And then the people, for those who come after, they will now have a map. Or they, some of them, had to open up certain pathways or whatever. And so at the Game Awards, when these people were winning the awards, on a meta level, they all ended their speeches by saying, "For those who come after," because they were highlighting. Awesome. But because they were highlighting, this game is so heavily inspired by JRPGs, so heavily inspired by not even RPGs, other games. There are aspects of combat. The combat system is essentially Pokemon, it's turn-based, and so there's so much that came before. And they kind of highlighted, and Jennifer English said it in her Shadowheart voice. I just hear Shadowheart when she talks. But for those who come after, this moment will inspire a game down the line that none of us can imagine. And I just love that mindset. And to make it a little political, because this is where I just think it's
in the jar.
It's important to highlight that mindset is what the world needs. We all need to think that way. And I reflect on some of the horror of the past, and you think about activism and how we're so inspired by activists of the past. You think of people in the 40s and 50s in America, black people who were activists who left their house and never returned home because they were lynched publicly. Those people were doing it for those who come after. They were doing it for they knew not only will I maybe die today, but even if we pressure certain legislation, my life will not improve, this is for my children, my children's children. This is for those who come after. And
for society.
And I was thinking about it in the context. I think I saw something that connected it to even during the AIDS crisis, not my recommendation, but there's a movie called How to Survive a Plague that's about the AIDS crisis. Everybody should watch it. Absolutely necessary viewing. But it highlights, again, at that time, the federal government was not saying AIDS publicly. They were just letting people die. I mean, Ronald Reagan was president, and the mindset was, this is a virus that is wiping out degeneracy in society. And that was, you had prominent public figures saying that sort of thing. So, the activists of the time who had AIDS, they knew they had months to live. They signed up to have, there's a really emotional, scene where they're people take their loved ones' ashes and dump them on the White House lawn. There's this full you cannot ignore us, and it's so emotional. But it makes me and the people who are doing it have AIDS and they know they're gonna die soon, and it's they're doing it for those who come after. And I just love and respect all the meta levels of that. I feel like this game needed to win. It needed to win Game of the Year because that's what the world needs. We need to think. Realistically, again, this is my final political note. We have not reached the lowest of the low of this time, right? Fundamental government institutions that have existed for my parents' entire lives are gone. And that is related to public health and climate restoration and control, or, all the conservation. So things are getting weird. And I think that any effort, they count on you being dissuaded so that you don't try. And the people, the characters in fucking Expedition 33, they know we are doing this so that the people behind us have a better chance. And that's how we have to engage with the problems in the world. So that's my Expedition 33 rant. I haven't played the game. I just watched my man play, but I am a major fan of that game, and yeah, I hope to see more like that. You know, I know it was like a small indie studio too, which people highlighted in like the development.
Yeah.
So.
Oh yeah. I could not have said it better.
Yeah. I'm stepping off my preachy soapbox. I realize I do that, but
if there's anything a podcast is for.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of why you're here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Did you have any other thoughts about Expedition 33 or any other Game Award things?
I need to go look at more, I guess. My biggest thing was just to make sure that Expedition 33 won. That's another thing about the Game Awards where, and maybe it's just because I feel like I have so much to do and I'm so, whatever it is, I kind of only care about the game of the year. Like that, honestly. Fair. Like
that's fair.
I don't know. Some years I'm like, yeah, I should watch it and like see all the awards and like what people get. And like, oh, like, yeah, the music award for like the best like original music for like games, like
and okay, cool live performances.
Yeah, like that's some cool stuff. But like, there's just some years I'm like, fuck it, just I want to know what the best game is. Great, and then I'm out, and that sadly was this year. I also thought some of the nominations, just compared to maybe some previous years, I feel like it wasn't like it didn't feel that stacked of a nomination list for some of like the categories. I mean, I'm thinking more specifically Game of the Year.
Yeah.
And again, that's not the diss on like the games per se, and a lot of them I actually haven't played, which makes me feel like why didn't I play any of these games, right? Or I don't know. It felt I didn't feel as connected to it this year, I guess is what I'm getting at. And I don't know, just some of the titles I was maybe surprised that they even got a Game of the Year. Because in certain years, some of those titles for sure wouldn't even be close to the nomination list, right?
Say their names.
I mean, I've seen my wife play this game, but I just have so many games I'm playing. I'll eventually play it. Like the new Donkey Kong game.
Mm-hmm.
I'm huge on platformers. I like Nintendo. I've been playing Donkey Kong since fucking Donkey Kong Country. All right, like I like Donkey Kong. That's just the kind of game where, and again, it looks good. Like it has great mechanics and like great platformer, but it's just the kind of game where it's like this is not even close to a Game of the Year type game. You know, I'm also.
It was the obligatory Nintendo.
Yes,
game of the
exactly.
Year
Yeah, that was like, all right, what the fuck are we doing here? Also, and this could be a hot take, but I think I might have said this before. I've never been a Hollow Knight fan. So I know there's a subset of people that are super into that.
Because people live for Hollow Knight. I've never even played it. Yeah. People live for Hollow Knight.
The Silk Song, like the second one, was nominated because that like just came out. And that was one of those games where I was like, I know it has a cult following, but at the end of the day, at least Hollow Knight, and I've played Hollow Knight, but not the new one, Silk Song. Something about like those games, like gameplay, I guess, to me, or I don't know, nothing about it to me is like gripped me that way. So, and of course, very biasedly, I was like, I don't know if that should be up there, but I know that's going to be heavily like I'll get flamed for that. So and again, someone who loves those series can easily give a pitch as to why, and I could be like, all right, yeah, I see what you're saying. Even if they're not the game for me, I at least can see like what you're saying. Death Stranding, nothing about those games ever. It was Death Stranding 2, I think, is the one that was nominated.
Yeah.
Nothing about those games have ever once been like, I want to pick up that game and play it.
I don't know how
you feel.
My old roommate used to. He is like such a Death Stranding advocate, and I've like talked to him a little bit about it. I don't know if he's played 2, so I will be hitting him up to see thoughts. But I mean, in general, that's Hideo Kojima, I believe, and like in general, I know that the games he works on are so good. I just fear I have not reached I'm not smart enough yet to like really understand all the things that are happening, because I'm intrigued. I watched my old roommate play the first one, and I was definitely like, okay, I see what we're doing, But yeah, it's. I mean, to be nominated for Game of the Year shocks me because I feel like if I feel like I'm not smart enough for this, not to be like, oh, I'm Mr. Brains, but like, yeah, I feel like your average gamer is like, what the fuck is going on?
Can you pull up the list of who got nominated? I think I touched on most of them. I don't know. It just felt like one of those years where there's a clear winner, and then the rest of them are just kind of like, and maybe that's just the kind of year that it was. Mm-hmm. Maybe they did, in the grand scheme of things, deserve to be in the Game of the Year.
The only ones we haven't talked about is Hades 2 and Kingdom Come Deliverance.
2, right? Kingdom Come.
Yes.
2. Yeah. The Kingdom Come Deliverance 2, I have been a little interested in, but again, I've never played. Mm-hmm. And I loved Hades. So I don't know what Hades 2 is like because I haven't played it yet, but I will play it.
I hear Hades 2 is lit.
Really? Okay, that's another one where I'm just thinking off of like Hades, and I don't know. That's one where I'm like, again, that's in the top 7. Like it's just a little surprising, I guess. Which is I guess kind of cool because not every game needs to be some AAA open world God of War. Right?
Yeah.
So that is kind of refreshing that that's in there.
One thing that really I found out about Hades 2 this past week that made me like, it piqued my interest in it is, you play Hades 1?
Yes.
And you are fighting your way through, hell or Tartarus or whatever.
All the levels of hell,
to get to see your mother and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently in Hades 2... even at the outset of the game, you're given the option between going down to Hades or up to Olympus.
Oh, wow.
Each path provides different
bosses
and different things. Even hearing that, I was like, okay, I see how we can get a second game out of this because I found, I really liked Hades, but I did find after a while the gameplay loop, I was like, I'm just not made for those sort of games also. Mm-hmm. It's not my typical thing. But
I get sucked into it, but as soon as I complete it,
it's over.
I'm done.
Yeah.
I am not replaying that shit.
Yeah.
It is very rare with those type of games where I'm like I love the grind and I love like, oh, it's like it gets more difficult and then like it's stakes are even higher, and eventually you get that like, I fucking did it.
Yeah.
Get that shit out of here, I'm done. So yeah, I do like the fact that there's I know nothing about Hades 2. This is the first I'm hearing of it. Mm. And I do like that because then it gives you do one of them to like learn and like get your best practices and like how you like to play, and then you complete it, and then I feel like it's like DLC time where now we go to Olympus, right, or whatever it is. I don't know. That does sound fun.
Yeah, like I said, I also don't know a ton aside from that, but
like I know, I think I talked about Spelunky on this podcast.
Yeah.
I like those games, and that's very much restart from the beginning. And was it roguelite?
Yeah.
That's what they're called. I finished the first one, and then now I'm like, I got pretty far into the second one, but didn't beat it. But again, I know as soon as I beat that, I'm never playing that game again. Mm-hmm. So, unless I play with like friends or something, because it is like a co-op. But yeah, no, interesting choices. Glad that Expedition 33 won. It's just I was not huge on the Game Awards in general this year.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't watch them.
Maybe that's just how this year releases have been. I don't know.
Well, one of my other hot topics of the week is a trailer that debuted at the Game Awards for Divinity. I'm not sure if you saw that trailer.
Ooh, yes, I did. How do you feel about it?
I mean, it's lit and also crazy.
Yes.
Just to break it down to bare bones for those who haven't seen this trailer, it is really graphic, really, and these are the people who developed Baldur's Gate.
Like the most graphic, probably video game trailer of all time.
There's some sort of like town festival where they're burning a man alive, and during the burning, I mean, there's like pigs eating vomit happening. There is a full orgy happening, and this is like at this trailer that debuted at the Game Awards. And then as this dude burns, darkness starts to fucking emerge from him, and you come back and you see all these bodies of these people at this festival fused into a totem. And it is, I mean, you should watch this trailer because that explanation.
There's flesh bubbling off of him because he's on fire, and then it's falling to the ground, and then the flesh is turning into like demonic
bile.
Snake bitey things. Yeah. Like it's you can tell they're burning him maybe for a reason. I don't know. They're trying to get rid of this craziness. I don't fucking know. Or maybe they caused it.
I'm eager to find out. It gave me the same feeling as the trailer for Baldur's Gate 3, where you see, I believe, Lae'zel get the illithid in her eyeball, and then you see the illithids fighting with the Githyanki riding the red dragon. Something that I knew nothing about at the time, and now obviously holds such different meaning for me now that I understand the world that this exists within. And I am very excited to see. I tried to play Divinity 2 a little bit. And
I have it. I own it. I'm just waiting for the day to... I need to finish Baldur's Gate 3, and then I'll pop it.
No, and I'm going to be honest, I tried to boot it up after I saw this trailer, and in a post-Baldur's Gate 3 experience where... I mean, this game is, cool, and there's, things that are different. There are undead characters that you can play as, and if you play as an undead character, poison heals you and health potions hurt you, and so there's there's a lot of little gameplay things that are really cool. It's just also a game that came out, over 10 years ago, and I feel like I'm a little spoiled right now. A little dated, which is, hey. But I am eager to see this game, especially where they are able to capitalize on the success of Baldur's Gate. I'm like, oh, y'all just previewed Game of the Year for whatever year this game comes out.
Yeah, if you haven't seen it, watch it. Watch the Divinity trailer, because it's nuts. I can already see a religious mother from Indiana just flipping her shit.
Oh, and it has the name Divinity too. Oh, I know. There is some evangelical pastor.
There's a new
giving a sermon on
panic coming now.
Oh yeah.
I can see it now. It's fucking great. It's amazing. It's just if you struggle with very graphic stuff, maybe not watch it.
Hey.
But yeah, no, it is. It's, you can tell it's going to be a very, very good game. So yeah, no, very cool. I mean, I don't know about you. I think I might save this hot take for next week, just because I feel like time-wise,
we're running through time. Yeah.
So, what was your hot take though with that? Just
it ties a little bit into the Game Awards, so maybe I'll just say it. My hot take is Star Wars is over. Is that Star Wars, there's no hope, and we need to pack it up.
There was a new game, right? That they
Fate of the Old Republic had a cinematic trailer that communicated nothing, and they're trying to put out the Old Republic as a way to catnip lure people in, because
Disney fucked them.
Remember the Knights of the Old Republic? Remember how much you liked that game? Check out this new shitty game we're going to cancel 3 years into development.
I talked about how I want to go back and play those older games, those games that came out for the PS3 era, Star Wars ones, like Force Unleashed and stuff. I was like, maybe I'll give those a go.
Force Unleashed. Yeah, hey, I'm never going to be mad at Force Unleashed. I mean, I haven't tried to play it in a while, but again, that game, it gave us a story, it gave us something.
It was pre-Disney.
It was
pre-Disney Star Wars. Now it's fucked.
Mickey Mouse killed it.
Well,
that was my hot take. I don't really feel the need to argue it. I mean, you could comment about it if you'd like, but
I'll give mine real quick.
Yeah,
I'll give mine
really quick.
Just real quick,
and then we can move on.
This will piss people off too. Another space fucking movie. Everything in all Avatar doesn't excite me. The visuals are good.
Yeah.
The visuals are good, but they have this third one coming out. They had the water one. Now they have the fire and ash one. I'm sick of Avatar. I'm fucking... I guess I don't have to watch it. So it doesn't fucking matter. I'm sick of Avatar. It's ass.
I'm shouting in the crowd. I'm agreeing with you.
That's one of those... That's one of those IPs or whatever it is, which kind of leads us into our problem. But that's one of those IPs where I'm like, dude, you could do so much with that. So much. They create all this... No, their lore. And technically, there's a lot of lore behind Avatar. And this is just one planet that they just fucking want to focus on for one... I don't know. I feel like you could get very creative with a world that they have set. And for whatever reason... I'm saying the universe. Sorry, not the world. The universe. And I don't know. It's something about creating high functioning tribal alien beings, and you just want to redo Pocahontas. I don't know. It's just not.
Y'all will never be Alien. Y'all will never be the Xenomorphs. Y'all will never be a sci-fi world with a really specific setting and gimmick. Y'all will never be that.
I know the first movie visually was huge for the time, and I respect that. I think Avatar does have some good visuals, but just, I don't know, all the storytelling and like the sci-fi behind it to me is like ass. It is the most like cookie cutter, like uncreative thing I've like ever seen. And that's the hot take on it, because I know there's a lot of people that like think Avatar is like this cool sci-fi type thing, and that's another Disney property where I'm like, fuck this, you know. So if we're gonna both come at a Disney property, fuck Avatar, fuck Star Wars. I used to be big into Star Wars, but once Disney got
I'm gonna tell you right now, like what I was gonna use to highlight this argument, and then we can totally move on, is that like, y'all, if you were not there, even for the prequels, and I know a lot of people I feel like a lot of older Star Wars fans probably saw the prequels and were like, I'm out, like this is not for me anymore. But like, I know even y'all would give your left nut to go back to like what the excitement and the hype that existed around that time, because it was so
not the right, the left one.
Yeah, I don't know, but you would there was so much excitement. I feel like when I talk to people who were not tapped into Star Wars, even around when the Clone Wars, the art cartoon was airing, you know what I mean? Like even that, y'all don't know like the excitement and hope that existed within this universe for what was to come next. And that sequel trilogy, they fumbled so fundamentally in a way that like, I mean, and it does fall to J.J. Abrams' feet. You know, I hate to say it, but it is your fault to do that movie.
I don't think it's crazy to say.
No, but like to do The Force Awakens, that episode 9, I guess it was. No, wait. No, episode 7. To do that movie and just be giving interviews like, yeah, you know, like we just made this movie, like we didn't have a trilogy mapped out. We didn't have like a grand 3-act plot mapped out. It's only Star Wars. Like we just did it and figured we would fill in the rest later. Bitch, y'all fucked up. And you fucked up a lot of people's bags. So, I don't know.
So wait. What if we bring back Palpatine?
So I do like the meme of Oscar Isaac saying, he's like, somehow Palpatine returned. Like that did miles in my house. I love saying that whenever anything happens.
Somehow.
I've also seen it through the lens of Stranger Things. Like somehow Vecna returned, you know? But, you know, fuck Star Wars and fuck Avatar. I like this. Fuck 'em. Let's be negative on the podcast today.
Hot take, we have them for a reason. So. But yeah, usually after this point, we get it out of our system. We get all the rambling out. And then we have a prompt every week. A structured question and answer that we have the answers beforehand that we just want to discuss briefly because we thought it was a good topic. Sometimes they relate to the time of year. Sometimes it's just something we want to talk about. And this week, and I'll have Derek go first for this. So I'll ask you, what is one IP that you would want either revived or just better used in general? So if you had creative control over an IP, what would you want to do with it?
I would absolutely do. So we've talked. I can't remember if I've talked about the show yet on this podcast. I feel like I have. But Dollhouse show that was on. I believe it was on Fox back in the day. It was a show.
You have mentioned this. It sounds familiar.
Developed by Joss Whedon, who obviously enemy of the pod. We don't like you. But he also produced shows such as Buffy the Vampire Slayer. He produced Firefly. If you ever watch Firefly, and you know, a whole bunch of sci-fi. He directed Avengers: Age of Ultron, which was a shit show, and I think largely due to him and how he writes women and yada yada. But I will say, Dollhouse is a show that I think everybody should watch, and it is conceptually, if I've described it before, forgive me. Basically, it takes place in a universe where like there's this organization where, say, you're in like a gajillion dollars of debt. You have no prospects. You have no hope. You kind of don't have anything. This organization finds people that are in that sort of position, or they're on the run. Maybe they did black ops, like, you know, mercenary work or something. But you can donate your body to this organization, the Dollhouse organization. They mind wipe you, and you give up 2 years of your life to be contracted by them. They put you in this place called like their HQ, the Dollhouse. Every doll is given a military like ID. Military alphabet ID. So the main character is Echo, played by Eliza Dushku. Friend of the pod. We love you, Eliza Dushku. You know what Eliza Dushku is?
I feel like I'd have to see a picture.
I'm going to show you a picture. You will recognize.
Again, horrible with names, but as soon as I see people, I'm like, yes.
Hall of Fame. Listen, I thought I liked this lady.
I'm very good at seeing like actors and actresses in things, and I'd be like, they're in that thing. I couldn't tell you their name, but I know like everything they've been. Yes, I do know who that is.
This lady.
Yep, 100%.
So she's Echo. She's the main character, and her friends also have, her other friends in the dollhouse have the same names, like V in the military alphabet is Victor. So her friend
like
is Victor.
Charlie.
Yeah, Charlie, Sierra.
Okay.
And
Tango.
And as they move around the dollhouse, they're kind of these blank slates, and they're very like soft and very kind and very like even. But then they get contracted, so then this organization will get hit up by like the super rich and powerful who say like, we need a bodyguard who like has mercenary training, and they will take Echo and they'll put her in this chair where there's things hooked up to her head, and they upload an entire identity into her brain. And they give her fake memories of having a child that she lost that encouraged her to go into mercenary work. And then she's on this mission and is this full person. And then, after her mission, her handler grabs her, they take her back to the HQ, and they wipe her mind. And the concept of the show is that these identities that are getting put on these dolls, they're retaining some memories and skills. And it actually factors into the grand villain of the series, who's Alpha, who is one of the dolls who is driven mad by all these identities that are put on his brain and just starts killing people. And it's So I say all that to say, again, this show there are just deeper themes around like, giving your body for work and labor and like what that means, and then also like taking on roles. It's very much about identity,
the emotional or the soul load of like getting wiped a bunch of times. Like what's remnants of things that you've done that were supposed to be wiped, and
if Echo as a character, who is, as we meet her at the beginning, this kind of blank slate doll, who is just kind of used for jobs, but if she starts retaining these different identities that are put on her, and she kind of becomes an amalgamation of all these things, is she less worthy of life than the woman who gave her body to this organization 2 years ago? Should she just get wiped away in the name of this person? Because she has wants and needs, even if they are imprinted on her. I feel like the show could be so relevant. I feel like it is so good. Under my direction, under my regime, yes. We'd keep Eliza Dushku. Maybe she'd be running the dollhouse now, and we'd have like a new set. But I think that is so capable of reboot. It just won't ever happen because Joss Whedon is a sex pest. So, I don't know, but I love the show, and I think if that intrigues you at all, you should watch this show, because I feel like it's so relevant.
Like that would fit, because there's that big push, like, I mean, I'm not saying they're like totally the same, but what's that show you were talking about, or maybe other people are talking about it, where you like clock into work and that's like a different fucking self.
It is a little bit proto Severance. Yeah,
Severance. Yeah, so that's like a huge, like, people like really responded to that well. So if you kind of ride that wave, right, with the new dollhouse, like, I could see it.
I use the mercenary example, but sometimes you're just like a lawyer. They just need a lawyer, and they just make her a lawyer who has asthma, and she actually believes she has asthma, so she's having like an asthma attack, even though it's not real. There's like so much psychological shit going on with the show. I cannot recommend it enough. So that's what I would reboot.
All right, that would be your IP.
And I'm going to reflect the question to you. What's an IP that you think should be revived or revisited?
I have said before on this podcast that I think we have lost the couch co-op art. The art that is couch co-op. I initially, when asked this, I was like, I gotta go to a video game of some way, shape, or form.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to use one as my recommendation, but the one I'm going to talk about is the game Castle Crashers. Have you ever heard or played this game before?
I have heard of Castle Crashers.
Yes. So that is a one-off. Like, all they made was Castle Crashers, and it was like a hit, and everybody liked it, but that's all they made. I don't think there's any plans for a second one. I think, and especially with the popularity and the success of, have you heard of Cuphead?
Yes.
So Cuphead is like a modern kind of Castle Crasher, popular. Kind of like, in a way. It's very similar in how you like traverse the screen. It it's I could easily see if you make like a Sirens that our takes are too hot. If you can,
yeah. Hey, but, it adds a layer of realism to
exactly.
the podcast experience.
But if you could take, so again, Castle Crashers is like most of the levels are not like a boss battle, and then kind of towards the end of like a track in the map, then there's like a boss battle. So, and again, I don't know if I'm under the assumption that Cuphead is kind of always boss battles. I've actually never played Cuphead, which I do want to. I've never played it.
It is not only boss battles.
Oh, okay. All right. So then
you're doing like platforming too. Like you're getting through levels.
Oh, okay. So then Castle Crashers and Cuphead are very similar then. I think with the success of Cuphead, I think it'd be great to make a modern day Castle Crashers and make it in that same type of vein. I think people really enjoy it. I've never met anybody who has played Castle Crashers and didn't like it. I don't know. I just think it would be something fun that truly has not been touched. Like there has not been any other games, at least I'm aware of. I just did a quick Google search just to be sure. But there isn't a second one. So I think that'd be really cool. I think, especially with modern tech, you could add a lot more levels, a lot more weapons, different characters. I think it would be a perfect modern day, like to try to bring couch co-op back. Yeah. And that's something that I saw that a lot of people online and even some friends were like, Cuphead is that game, right? Like we're getting back into kind of like this co-op on the same screen type thing. And so if we can you'll ride the Severance wave, I'll ride the Cuphead wave.
I see what you're
and
saying.
We'll make our kind of like, all right, well, let's go back to the OGs, right? Who did this prior.
And both of these, I think, like there's so much to learn, tied in for those who come after. Like there's so much that like Castle Crashers could be improved with, like other co-op things that have happened, like in the same way that Cuphead, it sounds like was very directly inspired, and I'm sure a lot of ways by Castle Crashers. I don't know the dates of all this, but like
maybe it was. Maybe someone's listening right now. It's like, dude, he doesn't even fucking know.
I don't know, but like I definitely I would be curious to see what a reboot would look like with like improved mechanics, studio backing.
Yeah, it'd be cool. I don't know. I just thought it'd be fun. And then I guess we can lead this into our recommendations of the week.
Yeah.
I initially had another game that I wanted to say that I'd be like, I want to make a modern one. But I was like, I should probably use this as my recommendation. Have you heard of the game? I've talked about it before, MediEvil.
Yes.
It's like Sir Daniel Fortescue, the skeleton. It was originally it's a PlayStation 1 classic. It was one of my favorite. I grew up with the PlayStation 1. That was like my first console. And I ripped back like Crash Bandicoot and like Spyro. Those are pretty much most of the games I played. I played some other ones here and there. Very kind of like obscure games. But one that stuck just as heavily as those two like heavy hitters, I think it has for a lot of people in that niche kind of market, was the game MediEvil. Have you ever played it before?
I have never played this game.
It is... And I would say my recommendation would be they did a remaster. So in the same year that they remastered like Crash Bandicoot, they remastered the Spyro the Dragon trilogy. They were taking a lot of PlayStation 1 titles that were big and remastered them. They did that for MediEvil. And it's spelled like MIDI, then EVIL. I don't know why. E because they capitalized E. To make it look like medieval, like evil instead of like, spelling it like the medieval period, because, it's very gothic. Like every Halloween time, like every October, I always play it at least once. The kind of vibes I get from it are very like spooky, and I know there's a subset of people that really like either horror or gothic or like that kind of vibe, like rainy day, like let's play this like spooky kind of game, or I'm sure there's a Venn diagram with Tim Burton lovers and this game specifically. It's just another platformer, essentially, or 3D platformer, I should say, where there's an evil wizard, and he's trying to take over the world, and you've been resurrected from the grave to stop him. So essentially, he's been resurrecting bodies as an army. to like do his bidding, and I'm pretty sure I haven't played in a while. I'm pretty sure that's why you all of a sudden kind of like come
But
to.
you're not like a thrall, like you break free.
No, and also because you used to be like a military guy, like you were like a leader, and then in some big great battle, you like take an arrow right to your eye, which I know that happened in like actual history. There was like a famous general that died that way or something, but I guess they kind of like spun off on that. And so you're kind of known as like a laughing stock. Like you never saw battle, you were just riding into battle and you were the first one to die, sort of thing. And his whole shtick is that he only has one eyeball and he's like a skeleton, and you're like in a little like suit of armor and stuff. So I don't know. It's gothic, but it's also goofy at the same time, and it's like a great kind of like older game that got a good remaster. And if that seems like that's something your style, or if you just like those 3D platformers, that were kind of we don't necessarily have those type of platformers anymore, because, and again, you can do more with tech now.
Yeah.
It's not the hardest game in the world. There are some parts that can get difficult, but for the most part, it's like a kind of a chill game. If you want to just sit down and like play for a little bit and not have to like, you don't got to do the sit up. Oh, this shit's getting serious. You can kind of relax and play. I highly recommend it. I have to, because I've already talked so much about Crash Bandicoot and all that shit, where I'm like, well, this is one that is like an all-time game for me.
Yeah. No, and
so
I mean, I'd be curious to see like I want to revisit like and just see kind of like some of the gameplay stuff, because it sounds like something you logged hours on. It sounds like it was something that you were in there for.
Oh yeah, I mean, I played a bunch like on like the original, but well, actually, you know what put me onto it? I still have it. They used to, I don't know if this makes us sound old as shit, but they used to put out demo discs for consoles, right?
Yeah,
remember those?
I do.
So like,
I do.
sometimes they would come...
Y'all don't know nothing about a demo
You don't know
disc.
about the demo discs, yeah. So, you know, because internet wasn't as big back then and stuff, and so sometimes it'd even like come for free. Like when you bought a game, they would give you for free like a demo disc, or you could buy a demo disc for like very cheap, like $5 or something, or whatever it was. But we had a demo disc. I got a demo disc, and you essentially get to try out the first like 30 minutes of like a game.
Yeah.
And on that demo disc that I had was MediEvil. And I ripped the first 30 minutes of that game as a kid, like before I actually got the whole... I ripped it back, that 30 minutes, a million times.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't wait until I can get this game. I like have that first level like the back of my hand.
You can do it
like,
right now with your eyes
Yeah.
closed.
Oh yeah. So yeah, that's what introduced me to it. And then I remember like I finally got it, and then they even like they ported it to the PSP. They kind of made like a half remaster for like the PSP. When I had the PSP, like I played it, and it's something where now they remastered it for the PS4, and they actually made a second one that was still in like the PS1 type era. But yeah, I think not only is that something where I'd want to make like a modern day one, and make it actually like gothic, like change the art style up. Like let's get like
aesthetically
gothic.
it'd be different.
Yes, like I think that'd be very cool. But at the end of the day, it's a good remaster. If you are somebody who even thinks like, oh, like classic games are sometimes fun, and you know, even if you're a little bit younger than us, and you feel like I want to get more into classic games, that might be one to check out. Especially if you have a PlayStation, you can easily just get it off the store right now. So yeah, what about you?
In terms of my recommendation.
Yes.
My recommendation this week is, and it's something that I've been putting on just as I go to bed. It's kind of a comfort show, but I don't think this would be your comfort show. Not you specifically. The general you. It is, and I'm not sure. I think we've talked a little bit about it. I'm trying to remember if I've recommended it before, actually. Have I recommended Berserk on this podcast before?
Sounds very
It's
familiar.
an anime series, Berserk.
I can't remember, because again, people listening, we filmed a bunch of episodes, or recorded.
It might have happened in the before times.
I think we have before times where we first tried this out, and didn't quite get it right the first time, and then now we're doing it.
I
think it was from there. I think you recommended it. Then.
I would recommend this regardless because I feel like it's different than a lot of my other recent recommendations and things I've talked about. Specifically, I'm recommending because there's a lot of movies that they've made and a lot of attempts at this. There is an anime from 1997 that you can watch on YouTube. It is one video, and it's like 25 episodes at about 23 minutes each. So it's like a 9-hour YouTube video.
Oh shit! That's crazy.
And this series is, first of all, like, if you are squeamish, if you are turned off by blood and violence, and I'll even say they don't shy away from the existence of sexual violence in this world. It is really intense at times, but it is without a doubt, like, aesthetically, one of like a top 5 anime for me. It is fantasy. It follows Guts, who is the main character. He is a swordsman who he has a giant, like, massive sword that is like too big for anybody to use except for him. He's like a big dude.
Guts.
And it's about him kind of starting out as like a mercenary in this ruthless world. It's really terrible. I mean, the manga is, I've seen some panels from the manga that have been like disgusting. But he is coming up in this world, making money, and he meets up with this sinister twink named Griffith, who is like this, like,
sinister.
he has like long white hair, he has white armor, and he leads a band of mercenaries called the Band of the Hawk. And Griffith identifies in Guts immediately, like, like they even in their initial meeting, which is in episodes 1, 2, or 3, in the first 3 episodes, he's like, like, you are a capable swordsman, Guts, and I see so much potential in you, and I think we could really be friends. I'm going to challenge you to a duel, and if you win, you can kill me, and you can do whatever you want, but if I win, you have to join the Band of the Hawk, and you have to be my companion. You have to be like, you have to link up with what I'm trying to do, because I'm ambitious. And Griffith has ambitions that, I mean, upon first watching, I'm not getting into it. This is some dark, depraved, evil shit going on that I think you get hints of, and you even catch a glimpse of it. But at the same time, there is a maintained, like, camaraderie among the Band of the Hawk. It is really masterful. I feel like it's one of those things that you watch one time, and then also the soundtrack, man, it is made in 1997, and I just feel like we don't make anime like this anymore, and the soundtrack is so good. I feel like just even aesthetically, if you give this even an attempt, 1 episode in, you will see, like, the root of this. And then low-key, if you watch 1 episode and you're like, I don't know if this is for me, I think it'd be kind of hilarious if you just put on the last episode. Like, you go from 1 to the end and see where we go, because shit gets really dark and twisted and evil in a way that, like I said, I got introduced to it a while ago, and I've met people in real life. This guy that I used to work with, he left the job, but, like, he had a Berserk tattoo, like, on, like, his, like, neck, and I was like, that is such an interesting tattoo to be, like, to be repping on your neck, because
a very visible place.
Because when I hear Berserk, I think of oh my god, Can
you get a picture up, like? I wonder if I've ever, like, seen the main character or something.
This is the main character from, like, the manga.
No, I don't think
You've never seen?
No, I don't think so.
That's him, and Casca is the girl in the mercenary group.
That sword is big as shit.
That's it. He's got a big sword. It is a big sword, and
it's like 8 feet long.
Oh man, I don't even know what to say. Here's Griffith, the demon twink.
Yes.
Who is? But again, there's.
So he loses that battle.
And he joins the Band of the Hawk. That's not a spoiler. He joins the Band of the Hawk, and
he wins the battle, and
that's the
ends
end.
There.
But I think it's also just about like questioning people's intentions and motives, and like you know. Guts is a character who I don't think they depict it in the show, but even his birth is like the most traumatic. It's like the opening page of the manga, from what I understand, is like his birth, which is like maybe just as this is a primer for if you're curious if this is for you. Again, I don't think they touch on this in the show because it's animated, and even though they show a lot of it, they don't whatever. His mom was being executed, a pregnant woman. Okay, so hung.
So he really was in the shit since birth.
As his mom was hung, he was delivered. Is like the concept. So that's the opening page of the manga, and then from there, it is a life of horror, and it's off. It's just it goes against so many things, like in terms of like what I usually go for.
Yeah.
But I feel like maybe it just hit me at the right time.
Dude, there's a huge community of people that really fuck with the dark, and that could easily be something I feel like people would. And this only captures like the first part, but there's the world shifts even in terms of, because big things are happening in the story. So like, even this is just one aspect of the story of Berserk. It's the I forget what this arc is called, but I am very, very pro people, if they have a stomach for it, getting into it, because the soundtrack is great. It is just one of those animes that I feel like it became a comfort anime, even though it's horrific. Like I really like the things that this is trying to say, even though, and with all anime, we do the female character dirty. I mean, that's just always going to be a thing. So like, that's another thing to have sensitivity to. But yeah, I don't know. Yeah. All right, so if you want to sit by on an evening near Halloween and play a nice little game, then go for MediEvil. If you want to go some hardcore shit, Berserk
on YouTube. Also,
because they're both kind of very, they're supposed to be like darker.
Yeah. I like that our recommendations both had in our Christmas sweaters, we're recommending.
Yeah, exactly. Death.
Death and horror.
Talking about Divinity. And, but yeah, no.
This was a pretty dark week, actually. I feel like we really went there on a lot of
Stranger
stuff.
Things, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's good, though.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
Do you have any closing thoughts for this episode? Anything that we didn't touch on?
I don't think so. I know I have been talking to friends about how they like slowly started watching this, like Raleigh specifically. Shout out again.
Shout out.
And he was like, which we have said this before, but I want to reiterate, especially if you're at this point in the podcast, this is the end of the episode, then you're a real one. You actually like to hear us talk.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you're hearing this specifically. But he was talking. He goes, how do you guys feel? But I was like, what if I gave a recommendation? I was like, we have said it before, but please give us we would love a reverse recommendation, right?
So we can review something.
Yeah, exactly. We would love to give a review on things that you guys recommend.
If you're recommending it, obviously we're going to be chill, but we're going to be honest. I'll be honest.
We'll be honest.
I will give an honest thought on
definitely be honest.
Is the fun of recommending. So I'm sure that's not going to dissuade you. But
so that is the only thing I wanted to bring up. Please, if there's something where you're like, I think they'd really like this, or I just want to hear their take on this, give it a go. Just don't give us an 8-book series.
Yeah,
maybe. Ideally, at least not for the first.
Ideally, something that we could see the comment and within a week,
be like,
get back to you.
Try that out.
Yeah, exactly.
And we will, especially for the first couple. We'll get it fucking done because it's our first one. So, but yeah, no, I think it's a good episode. I think we got everything we wanted.
Well, we have to post for our thumbnail.
I was going to say, it's thumbnail time, yeah. Which we always forget about until we're here.
Do you have any thoughts?
Is there anything like... I'm saying we're in like the sweaters. Is there anything that we can do with that?
I don't
know.
I don't know about like...
What if it's like us, like... Something for Divinity.
I was leaning toward muscles for some reason.
Okay,
that was kind of the pose.
All right, we can do that. Like I can do like one of these.
Yeah.
I just don't want to cover your face.
All right. Does that look good? Does that look corny? I can't tell. Okay.
Dude, you serious?
I'm not smiling. I'm dead serious.
Fucking.
How are we looking?
I think good.
Okay.
I think that'll do.
We'll see how that turns out. I don't know. Thank you for tuning in.
Eventually, though, we'll probably plan those, but fuck it for now.
I feel
we don't even have socials, and we're getting commented on it, so
I don't know.
We got bigger fish to fry.
Either way, thanks for tuning in.
Yeah,
like I said at the beginning, YouTube is the hub right now. Like, comment, subscribe, all those things. Further details to come.
Yes.
Thanks for tuning in.
And as always, have a good week.
Yeah.